Hello, YouTube friends. Well, it's Sunday morning. My church has just been streaming online as pretty much our entire country, as also our entire world, is in some sort of shutdown or lockdown. You'll have to excuse me. I have 3 cats in here, and one of them is already starting. I should have known to just put him out. So he might be chattering here, and if so, I may have to put him outdoors, which the door's right here. So that's okay. We'll just continue on. He's going to get in my lap now and probably annoy me to death. I wanted to read a few scripture verses to you. My friend, I just had a birthday. My friend sent me this book. It is called From Grits to Grace, Devotions from the Farmhouse Porch. It is a Dayspring book, so I'm not sure if you can get that online. I'm really not clear where she got that, and of course I didn't ask her. I just said thank you. But it was kind of funny. The day that she sent me my birthday was on March 14th, and all of this shutdown and panic sort of was getting ramped up around the 14th. We met with my parents and my sister and her husband and one of her kids for my birthday, and we had a very nice celebration. And since then, things have really ramped up and people are more and more panicked. So I just want to read a few scripture verses straight out of this book. These are different versions, so I'm just going to tell you ahead of time. I typically stick with either King James or New King James. Some of these are different versions, so if it doesn't sound familiar, that might be why. But you can look it up in the version that you prefer. The first one, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. John 14:1. That's New King James Version. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7, and that one is NIV. My kitty's right here. This is Jasper. I don't know if you can see him or not. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Do not let your heart be troubled, nor let it be fearful. John 14:27, and that's New American Standard Bible, NASB. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Philippians 4:6, that one is NIV. Cast your burden on the Lord, and he shall sustain you. He shall never permit the righteous to be moved. Psalm 55:22, and that one is New King James Version. And it's kind of funny when she sent me this book, and it may have just been the way the book happened to flip open. That was the first page I saw, and as I said, I got this. She had sent it a few days before my birthday, but I opened it on the 14th, and that was the day that opened up. And as I said, it was kind of like by the 14th, things were starting to ramp up and getting people were becoming more and more panicked at that point. So anyway, I did want to just mention a few scripture verses in case you are panicked or upset or uptight or whatever. We have lots of the media, lots of bad news if you pay attention to that. I try to segregate myself from most media. I find that they cause a lot of panic and confusion. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and panicked, I would just say to turn that off. There are other things you could be doing. I have a list of things that it was a blank page with a place that you could list some things out that you want to do during this time at home. I know some of us are essential workers. My husband and I are both essential. I am part-time right now, so I am not working much. He is an essential worker, so he's at work. Of course, it's Monday through Friday, and sometimes weekends you might have to run in and care for something. But anyway, he's still going to work, so things are all good here with us. We're just doing pretty much our normal routine. My life has not changed a lot. I'm a homebody. I don't particularly care for the whole stay-at-home thing, but I will say I did work on Monday of of the week that we just had, and then I pretty much stayed home. And then Friday I went in town and met him, and we had lunch. Obviously, it was a takeout lunch. It was not our normal. We normally go to Catfish Friday at Captain John's in Collierville, Tennessee. If you've ever been to Collierville, wonderful, wonderful barbecue joint that has great catfish on Fridays. So we did our normal catfish, but it was takeout. We went to his office. He's the only person working at his office. It's very safe. It was just the two of us. We sat in their conference room, had a very nice lunch, and then I went and did my essential shopping, which was my grocery shopping. So I really didn't do anything last week except, like I said, I worked one day and then did some essential shopping the other day. So I've been sheltering in place as I was told. Actually, and I will say our state is a little different. Our county, we do not, as far as I've heard, I don't keep up with tons of news, y'all. I really don't. So I've asked my husband, he has told me we do not shelter in place here in our county. There are very sparse cases here, and our county is very rural and very spread out. So our situation is very different. We have very few stores and restaurants where we live, and so I think pretty much every restaurant in the state, I would say, even though we don't have a lot of state regulation right now, I would say probably every restaurant is shut down only and is a takeout only. Or delivery only. So where we live, we don't have a lot of that. So in order for us to eat out, we pretty much travel. We do have a small grocery here. We have a Dollar General here. That's the extent of what we have here. We have a doctor's office that just opened, actually. That's a new thing for us. All right, now I'm going to get into my low buy year. I told you, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I said, well, we're going to get back on course. Well, I've gotten back on course because the only thing I bought pretty much, I would say, for the entire month of March were essentials, and it was almost all food. I bought a lot more food than I would normally buy because people were panicking. I didn't buy food because I was panicking. I bought food ahead of the panic because I had been warned. I had watched reports of Italy clearing shelves and other countries. I think Australia had cleared some shelves and just some other areas of the world clearing shelves. So when I saw those reports, I went out and I shopped. I did not shop for toilet paper. I actually shopped for what we would need, which would be food items. So my pantry is stocked. I have plenty of foods in the freezer that I can cook. I froze quite a bit of meat. I am very picky about what we put into our bodies. We eat a lot of organic foods. We eat a lot of organic meats and grass-fed meats. And I've even started buying, I have regular eggs and then I have like the free-range eggs. So I've got, both. I've normally have just bought the regular eggs, but I'm moving into the free-range world now. I've made very small changes to get to where we are. It's taken me over a year. We've been doing the organic thing for a little over a year now, a year and 3 months. I'm doing this slowly. So the one thing I was going to show you, I have never been able to do an empties video because I was using up what I have here. Finally have some things that are empty, and I couldn't get the top back on this. I had taken the top off, but anyway, I couldn't get it back on. So this is Aveeno. Had this, I bought this years ago. It had been sitting up in a cabinet. I bought this for my dog. He has very sensitive skin. He can't handle anything, and guess what? He couldn't handle this either. My other two dogs I had previously used this great, no problem. It's just a skin relief body wash. I don't know what the deal is. Aveeno is usually pretty good with, it even says, I think, dermatologist recommended. Yes, fragrance free, gently cleanses. Yeah, he couldn't handle it. He scratched and scratched and scratched. So I think I used this on him once and said, oh, well, he's just going to scratch, so we can't use that again. Well, I don't really like it that much. It's not my thing, but as it had been sitting in my cabinet for years, guess what? I decided to use it up. So I finally have an empty. Yay, an empty. I have also an empty hairspray. I actually use quite a bit of hairspray. I usually keep about 3 of these on hand at any one time. And so I've got a couple more here now that I'm using, obviously. But I have one empty hairspray. And then our dentist gives us these tiny, and these, my husband could probably squeeze a little bit more out of these. I have squeezed about as much as I can get out, but I have lots and lots of little tiny empties here. These are my little empties, and I actually had a larger one, just a full size, that I also threw away, but it was taking up so much space I threw it away already. So all this is going to be ready to go into the trash unless my husband wants to try to, you might get one more toothbrushing out of that. He could maybe squeeze 2 out of it. I can't squeeze anything else. I've tried. I have arthritis in my hands from working, cleaning houses so long, so I've squeezed as much as I'm going to squeeze out of that. So those are my empties. I'm so proud. It's been 3 months, and I'm sure I've thrown some stuff away here and there, but those are my empties. That's all really I have to show. I've seen people do empties videos, and they're emptying left and right, and I'm like, how do you empty this much? I mean, I'm still using some of the same makeup I've had for a really long time. I know they say throw it out. I don't do it. Now, I am going to show you, because I discussed this on a video before. When all this panic hit, or it was hitting other countries. I went out and bought this. I love Kirk's. They have bar soap that's non-GMO. This does not say non-GMO. However, it is cruelty-free. It is certified vegan if you're into that. It is National Celiac Association, so that means no gluten. It's hypoallergenic. I cannot talk. Hypoallergenic, etc., and so on. So if that's something that you would need, this does have a pretty stout fragrance. My sister's had to go fragrance free. Unfortunately, she would not be able to use this. It's pretty stout. I will say it dissipates, so I don't notice it on my skin when I'm finished. I notice it in the shower, and I actually don't like the fragrance, but I love the product. Everything else about it I love. If they would lighten up on the fragrance, it'd be 100% better for me. But I love this. It's 32 ounces. I got this at Walmart for like $8. You can see, well, I don't know if you can see or not, I've already used quite a bit of this because you can use it as body wash. You can use it as shampoo. 3-in-1 head to toe nourishing cleanser. It's got premium coconut oil and aloe vera. So anyway, this is an old brand. It's Kirk's. What does it say? American made since 1839. So you see that's an old company. I'd actually never heard of Kirk's soap, even though I've got friends who've used it for a really long time, but I noticed the bar soap was non-GMO, and so I grabbed that up because I wanted to see what that was all about. I like the bar soap. It also has a heavy fragrance, the same as this. That's the one thing I really wish they'd lighten up a little bit on that. But anyway, it's missing a lot of the things that are in other hair products that I really have just started wanting to get away from sulfates and things. So I'm going to tell you what it's free of. Free of artificial fragrance, and I don't know where they're getting the fragrance from, but it is a little bit strong. Phthalates, I'm not sure what those are. Sulfates, parabens, EDTA, I would have to look that one up. Glutens and colorants. So it's very free of many, many things. So if you're interested in that, great product. Again, I did get it at Walmart. I don't really think they much have it anymore because everyone's sort of wiped out the soap. It might be coming back on the shelves. I did see it on Walmart.com though, and it was somewhere around $8.50 for 32 ounces, and I have used quite a bit of it in a month. It's kind of hard to see because the label's in the way, so it's gone down past the label, but I have used quite a bit, but I'm using it on my face. When I get in the shower, I just use it everywhere. My face, my hair. I like it for shampoo. It's working good for shampoo, so I'm enjoying it. I do use a conditioner. Also, I'm not sure if I need one, but my hair really gets a little tangled. Now, we talked about immune system health. We have many, many people around the world who are panicked about a virus. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not serious. We see a very serious problem in other countries. We see a very serious problem in New York City. I am here to tell you I am not panicking. I am letting everyone around me panic, basically. I've gotten some blowback about some of my comments on Facebook because I don't panic. Now, I will say we do not have children. I'm sure if I had children, I'd be a little bit more concerned, but it isn't affecting children like it is older population adults. So, you know, if I'm going to panic about anything, it's going to be my parents. My parents are very healthy, so I'm not panicked about them either. They're taking very good care of themselves. I will tell you what we do. We do vitamin C. I've actually upped this. I'm probably doing 2,000 a day. I normally during flu season, I'll do 1,000 a day. I pump up my immune system all year long, and flu season goes 6 months, and I do a lot during flu season. So I'm treating this as a flu season. It is not flu. I understand. It's a different type of virus. I get it. But I still treat my body the same way. We have lowered our sugar intake. Sugar is very, very it's very bad for your immune system. So white sugar, very bad. And it just so happened, first of this year, I began weaning myself off of that. So I'm having tea right now. My tea has honey. It does not have white sugar. Yes, honey is sugar, but it's a natural product. So it's a little bit different. And I don't put tons of it. It's just enough to sweeten, okay? Okay, so this is ascorbic acid. I know other people are using the sodium version of vitamin C, and I don't recall right this minute what that's called, but ascorbic acid will work. I like this because it's micro ingredients. This is very, very pure and no sugar added. It's just a pure powder. This is my personal favorite. And if you found the sodium one, I've heard people who are very wise say the sodium one's better. This one's working fine for me. Spencer and I have used vitamin C for years to fight off illness, sinus infection, and everything else. So I just swear by vitamin C. I would take vitamin C if I did nothing. If I did nothing else, I would take vitamin C 2,000 every day, or even more. If you're, if you're really panicked, take more. It can cause stomach upset, so you just need to be aware of that. The more you take, the more stomach upset you will have. Spencer's been taking zinc caps. This is 50 milligram. He's been taking it quite a long time. I've been listening to lots and lots of experts, and they say to take zinc. So I added it. Probably maybe 3 weeks ago, I added it. So zinc caps, 50 milligrams. And as I said, Spencer's been taking it quite a long time, and I've added it in the last few weeks. So very important. D3, extremely important. This one is 5,000. These don't come in milligrams. This is IU. 5,000 IU is a daily dose. If you're very panicked and you've never taken vitamin D, nearly everyone in this country and probably other countries, even if you're in the sun, Spencer was very low in vitamin D. He's in the sun all the time. He's got a very nice tan. You'd never know by looking at him that he's not, that he's, got a deficiency. He's taking this because he was deficient. I was also deficient. Mine is sky high, so I've had to back off of this. I just had my blood work done. It was way too high. They asked me to back off. Actually, they told me to stop, and I stopped, and then I take just a little, maybe 5,000 a week, not a day. But normally, if you haven't been tested, pretty much everyone's deficient. 5,000 will not hurt you. 5,000 a day. If you're panicked, take 10,000. Cod liver oil is full. It has a little bit of D, but it also has A. So we need vitamin A. That's another extremely important thing. I've pared this down. I had some comments on, boy, you take a lot. Yes, I do. Spencer and I are very, very serious about our immune system. That's one reason we're not in any sort of panic, because we concentrate on this all the time. This is something that we don't just go, oh my gosh, there's a virus, I think I'll take some C. No, we've never done that. We've always said it's flu season, people are coughing and hacking. Let's make sure we're taking our immune system stuff. So this is a new one I've added. Now I will say Spencer's not taking this. He is taking the other three. He uses a different vitamin C from me. You don't have to use what I'm using. I use that because it's low in sugar, and I'm watching my sugar intake. I actually have my glucose at times is a little too high. So I've been doing a lot of things to lower my glucose. You can, by the way, lower it. You don't have to get on meds. There are things that you can do. Exercise. By the way, exercise is very good for immunity. I've spoken out on my page about how I hated that the gyms were closing. Worst thing you can do right now is stop exercising. If you're a gym person, you go to the gym 3, 4, 5 days a week, I would encourage you to find some way to exercise at home. YouTube has got loads of free stuff, loads. I actually do a workout that I pay for yearly. It's a subscription. It's Gilad, Bodies in Motion. I highly recommend him. He will whip you into shape in no time. If you do it's like a 22-minute workout, because on TV it was 30 minutes, but they had commercials. If you just do his 22-minute workout, he will whip you into shape in no time. It's not that hard, but it gets you going. It's a cardio workout. He does a little stretching, a little breathing at the end. Nothing difficult, but anyway, he's really great. I highly recommend him. If you want something free, Blogalates on YouTube, totally free. She's got a million workouts. So there are many, many things, free resources out there while your gym is closed. Obviously, most of us, there are some places encouraging you to stay indoors. I would say do not do that. If you absolutely are being forced to stay indoors, that's different. But if you can get outside, get out there. If your weather's too bad, run around inside your house. Walk inside your house. Find a walking workout. There's walking workouts on YouTube. All this is free. Just look on YouTube, put in whatever you want to do. Cardio, walking, whatever. It's out there, all right? Okay, thanks so much for coming to see me. I tried to put as much as I could in this update and do it really fast. Love you guys. Bye.